Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we have another Kentucky straight bourbon on the cask. And they're actually proud to say they have a sour mash whiskey and it is 7 years old. Yeah, you don't see that many Kentucky straight bourbons or bourbon in general with an age statement. But here they don't emphasize the age that much. I don't think, is it? Oh yeah, they put it in front as well, but they don't emphasize it that much. They want to emphasize more on small batch craftsmanship and really of taking their secrets into a good bourbon. I've read this here on the back, and I want to read you a few lines. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. My bourbon follows our Beam family tradition of putting our best secrets inside the bottle, not here on the label. I've distilled 6 generations of bourbon skills into this bottle. That's a lot of secrets. Please savor its smooth flavor over ice with a splash of water, or however you take your bourbon. Baker Beam. Yeah, Baker Beam is the name of the master distiller that created this bottle, and he is the great nephew of Jim Beam, from which the Jim Beam brand has its name. And this year is the Baker 107. So yeah, they say, they don't put the secrets on the label, just put it in the bottle, so it's all about the taste. Yeah, but I have been at the Jim Beam distillery. There's a nice video about the Jim Beam distillery. It's a really awesome place. And they told me how they come out with their whiskey. Basically, they produce all Jim Beam spirit after their old recipe, and with yeast and mash bill and that all kind of stuff. But the spirit is all the same for the normal, less priced stuff and for the premium stuff. And what they then do is they mature it differently. They put them all in the same warehouses, but the warehouses in Kentucky are rather high. Maybe you know a few of the warehouses in Scotland, the Dunwich, and very flat, only 3 casks high. In Kentucky, they have their warehouses which are 6, 8, some of them are 10 stories tall, but they are quite high. So they have 10 stories, and each of them has 2 or 3 barrels. I'm not quite sure. I think 2. So they have a lot of barrels on top of each other, and it is really warm in summer, especially at the top. So you have a very big heat difference between the bottom and the top. So also you have very thin sheet metal walls. So there's a lot of heat exchange from the surrounding. In the winter, the outsides is really getting cold. So you do have also a bit of a difference there. So what they do is they draw a cross inside the warehouse, and that's kind of the lines where you have equally maturing whiskey. There's an article on Whisky.com about that if you want to get more into their details. So basically this here is the whiskey from the sweet spot. It's not a spot, but it's kind of layers that are just in the right position to have the best maturation. So they go around, they get these bottles from these sweet spot layers, and then they choose the best casks from these layers because it's a natural product. Every cask is different, and then they get these small batches. You don't need that many barrels for a small batch because it's a hefty price of around 60 euros. That's, I don't know, 70 pounds, something dollars, around that as well. So yeah, not that many people buy this premium small batch bourbon. I think I've said enough. Let's have a try. Here's a wax thingy glued on top. Ugh. That's really gets sticky. And the 107. Oh, I got a problem with the cork. Oh, I've never seen that before. Okay, let's take a little break. So I'm back. Yeah, the cork broke out of the cap. Never happened to me before. But if you have something like that, don't hesitate to get yourself your bottle wine opener. And it just works like, oh, there's not much left, so you gotta be a bit more careful. Just try not to break it, otherwise you get bits into your whiskey. I think I managed just fine. It was not such of a great cork here. So one advice to you, if you finish a bottle of whiskey, don't throw away the cork. Always store your corks in, I don't know, some bowl or something, so you have it when you need it, because now I need a cork and I need to get to my bowl with all the corks. The 107 stands for 107 proof. That's 53.5% ABV, and that is quite a lot. And today I will use a bit of water in there. The great thing here is it's not colored. Jim Beam does not need to color their whiskey because they use fresh American oak casks, and that means you get the wood sugars from the cask. When you toast them, you get this beautiful color, and that's where the color comes from naturally, and also the flavor. Oh, it's really soft. Soft, fruity vanilla. It's bananas, papaya, mostly bananas. And really soft. It's like, it's really banana style here for me. A little bit of a sweet, sticky smell at the very back. Oh, it's a typical nice bourbon at the beginning. Now when the smoothness, the really silky smoothness is over, you do get a few more spices. You do realize, oh, there's kind of a woody, oaky flavor going on here. Oh, okay. Nice. And it's really sweet, and it's really making you yearning for a bit more. Even though I've put in a few drops of water in there, it's still quite strong. I'm believing I only watered it down to 48 or something like that. It's intense. It's got really, really strong flavor, and that's part of the reason why you have a 7-year-old bourbon is quite strong. I would say this is a sipping whiskey and not one of these everyday whiskeys, because it's when you have a bourbon and it's just much, much, much more intense. Usually a bourbon is 3 years, 4 years old, and this has almost double the age of a normal bourbon, so it's really, really intense. But I like it. So it's a good sipping whiskey for an evening when you're into something really silky smooth. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.